Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out OlliOlli 2. Welcome to Olliwood. So this is actually fairly simple, bloody hell, I cannot talk today. It is fairly similar to the first game. Let's go have a look around. First thing you might notice, button controls and all the menus. They took out all the touch controls. Thank God, it's so much easier to get through these menus. Anyway, control scheme. Pretty obvious, don't really need to worry about modifying it. Can't use the D-pad, but I mean, you don't really want to. You can also adjust the music and sound effect levels. I prefer keeping the music relatively down because it just tends to get in the way a bit. I mean, I can still hear it fine just at this level. I mean, by default, it's at max. You can't even hear the sound effects. You probably want the sound effects because the sounds are good to help with your timing. You got your Trictionary, which lets you go through and check all the motions you need to do for your specific tricks. And it also includes all your stances. Your profile here shows you all your statistics. I've been playing for about an hour at this point. The daily grind, you get as many tries as you want to practice, but then when you want to go for a high score on the leaderboard, you get one shot. Your skate park is just where you learn all your techniques, but thankfully, everything past manuals you can just learn yourself. It's not that big of a deal. It does put you in those tutorials pretty quickly when you need to learn them, so you know. Your spots are small areas that unlock whenever you finish the main level that's related to them, and you just play it through on one combo and try and get a high score. And here we are back at the career. The career is the main part of OlliOlli. The idea is every level has 5 goals to obtain, and you can do these at any time. And finishing a level allows you to go on to the next level. Finish all the goals in a level, and you can move down to the pro level, which will probably have 0 relation to the level that unlocked it, but, you know, more levels the better, right? So, we're just going to hop on an early level just for the purpose of demonstration. There's also rad mode, which makes it much harder, but God, I haven't actually unlocked rad mode, and it would take me a while to unlock rad mode, so we're just going to go ahead and play. One thing I want to bring motion to is that all the menus are fucking instant. The load times are instant, everything is instant, and it's fantastic. But yeah, the goal is here on this level. Finish a 28 times combo. Get a score of 300,000 points. No kick or combo under 1,000 points. And you can go to the Trictionary if you need to look up a trick that you might need to do. And you can also come straight to the skate park. Why you'd want to go straight to the skate park, I don't know. So, let's just move on to the level already. As you can see, it's about the same as the regular OlliOlli, except it's got a bunch of new tricks up its sleeve. But for those of you who haven't played OlliOlli before, I'll go over the basics. The idea is that you use the analog stick to do a variety of tricks, and then you tap the X button when you're about to land. And it lets you... And then you either land, and it all depends on your timing, you see. The better you time pushing the button to land, the better you... The better score you get, and the more speed you get out of it, right? See, I just got sloppy, so I just got slowed down a fair bit. I'm going to move on to the next level just to keep things a little bit interesting. So that's the idea. And you do your various tricks by flicking the analog stick in different directions. You've also got a spin modifier on L and R. And you can also do grind modifiers by tapping the button and a direction while on a rail. It's fairly precise, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. The game has an absolute reliance on timing, so if you can't handle any sort of timing, I just screwed right up there and along I go and splat into the spike wall. Let's give that another shot, shall we? So yeah, the game's very reliant on timing, so if you're not good with your timing, you probably want to avoid this. Because the better you time your landing, not only do you get more speed, which is actually fairly highly required in some levels, but you actually get more score out of it. So the better you time your landing, the better your speed is, and the better score you get. It's that simple, really. See, I just completely screwed up, and yeah, I screwed that up massively. We'll move on to the next level, because why not? So the idea is every level has 5 goals to get through. Oh, there's also ramps in this game. Let's just press triangle and restart. Thankfully, restarting is instant. One of my problems with OlliOlli 1 was that instant restart wasn't there. You had to reach up with your finger to actually get that restart. And trust me, it's a lot better where it is now. In fact, the entire game's better for the button menu control because of how fast it makes everything. There's also those ramps there, which, whoops. There's also those ramps there. Again, all based on timing. If you do your trick at the very end of the ramp, you'll get the most launch out of it, which is, you know, something you desperately want to make sure you get right. So the goals can vary. Most courses have goals that are like, get X amount of combo, get X amount of score, and then there's usually a bunch of... Bugger me. I'll go on to the next level. Usually there's a bunch of other goals as well. Every level has 5 goals. These may include anything from collecting specific objects throughout the level to... Well, that's basically it, really. There's often a couple other things like doing specific tricks in a combo, doing full level combos, which is actually brand new, because these manuals that I've been doing are actually new to OlliOlli 2, and it's very important you learn them immediately. So whenever you're about to come down on landing, in OlliOlli 1, you would normally just tap the X button. But in OlliOlli 2, you don't want to do that anymore. You want to break out of that habit. You want to be tapping left or right plus the land button at the same time, because you're going to get screwed if you even remotely try to just land like you would normally. Oh, bollocks. You're going to get screwed if you try and land normally, because, good God, they require you to get some massive combos later on in this game, and you cannot get those massive combos without the manual. The manual is very important. Learn it as soon as possible. But I hear you ask, other than the manual, what exactly is new about this game? Well, the manual and the handful of added mechanics. I mean, the game doesn't really feel like it's that new, honestly. I mean, it's not what I expected OlliOlli 2 to be. I mean, god damn it. It's what I would expect OlliOlli, like, 1.5 to be, if you wanted me to be honest with you. I mean, sure, they added a couple of surprisingly random movie themes, and they added a manual, but it doesn't make as much of a difference to the gameplay as you might hope. It makes the landings a little harder, obviously, but other than that, it doesn't do much. And there are the grind transitions and the reverts and all that. If you couldn't tell, I'm still terrible at OlliOlli. My timing has never been that good. I'll go on to the next level if I fail again. But yeah, I mean, outside of these handful of new mechanics, there's not really that much else to do here. They did add many new modes, if you don't count the obvious tutorial mode as one, and they didn't really add any sort of new massive overhauls to the gameplay. I keep forgetting there's no stairs there, no grind rail there, and down I go. Alright, so we're on to the cowboy-themed levels now. I mean, sure, it is definitely the definitive version of OlliOlli, but OlliOlli 2 is a bit of a stretch. If they just called it like OlliOlli, Welcome to Olliwood or something, I'd be fine with it. But I know I'm obsessing over a tiny name detail here, but it really doesn't feel like a full-on sequel to OlliOlli. It just feels like something they would have added in, say, a standalone expansion to the game. You know what I mean? Because it feels exactly the same as OlliOlli 1, except for the manuals, right? The manuals and the grind transitions. I'm trying to get the grind transition right, but I'll be damned if I can remember how to get the damn grind transitions. It doesn't really matter much. It's just changing your ride midway through for more combo points. You get taught it once the game's like, oh, you probably need to learn this now. Not that big of a deal. But the game's still exactly the same as it was before. It's keep your speed up, do as many tricks as you possibly can, make it look as fancy as possible, get really pissed off because you missed that one jump at the very end of the level and you end up bailing and losing like 1,000,000 points in one combo, or in what I just lost there, like 500,000. I'm not bad, I just need to try and focus on my commentary, and it doesn't help when you're trying to play a game that's very reliant on its split-second timing and memorization of levels, which is very hard to call upon when you're trying to play the game and talk about it at the same time. But yeah, memorizing the levels is absolutely required. Memorizing the best paths is absolutely required. Memorizing the best tricks is absolutely required. You get the idea, right? So it's a precision game. It is a very satisfying game, I'll give it that. Getting a massive combo down just right, getting a ton of perfect landings, and getting all your tricks done exactly the way you want to is fairly magnificent. I have one personal complaint with, like, the manuals, though. I know this sounds a bit silly, and you do get used to it. And this is probably just me sucking at the game more than the game not being good. But it's really hard to get used to timing your manuals correctly so that... Because you have to press both the analog stick to the left or the right and the leaning button before you hit the ground. And you have to press them both at the same time right before you hit the ground. You can't, like, hold the analog stick in a specific direction before you do it. And it pisses me off so much because I miss the trigger so many times. But... Again, probably just me being terrible. It's just something hard to get used to, though. At least the game's consistent. Everything has to be done precisely. There's no one thing that's excluded from the precision of this game. And again, very precision-based. It's also significantly harder. Which is what I find strange. Like, god damn it, I did not have enough speed. I'm going to go and select this level here. I haven't actually finished this level, so let's see if I can do it while I'm talking. So, the game is actually significantly harder, which is something surprising that I found. I mean, it starts out really easy. God damn it. It starts out really easy for some reason. It's just... I know you're meant to have a bunch of tutorial levels, but they have a bunch of tutorial levels to help you learn what the game's like, and I really cannot get that jump right. I never can get that jump right. Made it. But yeah, the game starts out about the same difficulty that the first OlliOlli was at the beginning, and then it gets really, really hard, really fucking fast. Oh, wow, bugger me. The game gets really, really hard, really, really fast. I mean, even by OlliOlli standards, it's a bit of a bitch. The combos you have to get are insane. The amount of tricks you need to do in one combo and land it are basically get to the end of the level without falling off your board once anyway. It's just kind of nutso. If you wanted a harder OlliOlli, here you fucking go, bastards. Nevertheless, I still enjoy it pretty immensely. I mean, again, as I think I said this back in my review of OlliOlli. Well, not my review. I do not call them reviews. Blue, shut your goddamn brain up. Back in my look at OlliOlli 1, I did say that putting on Tony Hawk music and playing this was a fair solution. And really, it is. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that the new Tony Hawk game isn't going to be an OlliOlli game. Because they said they were making one. I'd be astounded. God damn it, I did not know that was coming. God. Wow. Fuck me. But yeah, just other than that, there's not really that much to say. There's a lot of room for freedom of expression. But there's just a lack of added features. I mean, there's no replays, for one. Or at least I don't think there's any replays. There might be some on the leaderboards, but... Actually, you know what? Just for the purpose of demonstration, let's go and see if we can actually see some replays. I wonder who's on the top of this level. 6.4 million! Christ almighty! But yeah, there's no replays, and I would have loved to see a sort of a mode where you could set up your own levels and share them with other people as sort of challenges or something like that. It's just kind of disappointing, really. I'm going to play one of the pro spots, and then I'll go and play the daily grind. The pro levels. The spots are just shorter variations of the levels that you can only do like one combo on, and then you're given a score at the end, and you know, compete on leaderboards with that. It's not a bad mode, it's just doesn't really leave you much to do after you finish the whole game. And I mean, you do get a fair amount to do, because you have to play through all the normal levels and get them all perfect, and then you have to play through all the pro levels and get them all perfect to get to rad mode. And then you've got all the spots on top of that. Probably should just restart now I think about it. But yeah, there's just not that much content. I really would have liked the ability to make like a custom spot or something, so that you can challenge other people to play your levels and then see how they do on them, and then just do like, maybe even like OlliOlli Horse. It just seems like such a stupid idea not to actually include it. I don't know why they didn't. But yeah. No replays, no... It doesn't feel like they've really added anything new outside of those couple of extra features, and it's just kind of disappointing to me, personally. Let's practice on the daily grind, and then I'll do it and make an ass of myself like I usually do. Yeah, you really need to keep your speed up. Very important. So really, my final opinion on OlliOlli is that it is an improvement over its predecessor. I just saw, like, the OlliOlli guy just stuck in the wall there, and it kind of caught me off guard. But, again, it's... God damn it. It's a perfectly fair and reasonable upgrade to its system, but OlliOlli 2 might have been a bit much. Maybe if they had pushed this more as a... God damn it. Maybe if they pushed this as more of a standalone expansion. Oh, the daily challenge actually expired like 10 minutes ago. That's something. Maybe if they had pushed it as something more like a, what's the word I'm looking for? I wonder why the leaderboards aren't loading. I guess nobody's got a score on this daily grind yet. Maybe if they actually pushed it as a... Just maybe a standalone expansion or something to OlliOlli and not a full-on sequel, maybe I would feel a little bit more encouraged by it. Because they really didn't add much to make this worthy of the 2 moniker to my personal taste, and I'm still not going to make it. God damn. That's actually the end of the level, so, okay. I'll give it one more shot and I'll give it another go. What's here is good, I just wish they added more. That's what I'm trying to say. 251. Alright, we're going to play it for real. I'm going to shut up and try and focus on this. Down I go, as expected. Oh well. It's not bad. It's a good expansion. If you're looking for more OlliOlli, especially harder OlliOlli, well, here you go. For the rest of you, well, I don't know. I don't really... This is definitely the better place to start, but this is probably going to be more expensive. I don't actually know the price off by heart. I got it for free on PlayStation Plus. It's like 20 bucks, wasn't it? 10 or 20 bucks. Either way, this is the better place to start if you've never played OlliOlli, but if you didn't like OlliOlli 1, this isn't going to change your mind. So, yeah, there you go. This has been a look at OlliOlli 2. This is Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.